All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Session 22, or, Season 4, Episode 22, however you want to call it, of Mayhem on Mandril. Last we left off, somebody didn't show up until very late, because somebody didn't show up. So to clue that unnamed anonymous person in as to what in the world is going on, Grodger just pulled up. Yeah. How could you do this to us? Grodger just pulled up to the ball after being turned into a dragon and flying over mid-air. The reason he was late, in character, of course, is because he was because he was having a panic attack and anxiety. But he's all better now. Everything's great. He is arrived upon wings of a dragon before transforming back into Grodger on the balcony. He did alert a small army towards his presence, which I have not drawn on this map, but includes but is not limited to Lionel Reinhardt, Xerxes peering through the window, and Ravenna, who walked outside tense and ready to kill, and then immediately dropped her daggers at the sight of the dragon transforming back into Grodger. Our time in this evening should be somewhere, although I don't know if I have it recorded, should be somewhere around 8:30, perhaps a little bit earlier, which puts us a little halfway through the event for the evening. Halfway through the events for this evening, shall I say. Everybody caught up? Anybody have any questions? Great. All right. And I'm just gonna say it's a tactical 8:20 p.m., which is what is 20-ish in military time. Yeah, we'll clap that there. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Grodger, welcome to the party. As I've stated, standing before you is a small army of guardsmen in royal attire, the likes of which I'm honestly not sure if you've seen before. There's not a ton of people on the balcony that are mobilized, and things are settling out now that you're, you. Reinhardt's still on edge. Ravenna's in relative shock, and at this point, nobody has really moved a muscle after your superhero landing. What would you like to do?
Hey.
You're gonna quietly say, "Hey." Hold up, let me count how many feet away you are. In the middle of an open balcony in the evening, 40 feet away, just a quiet hey.
A little horse.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, at this point, nobody has exactly moved closer to you. What is your passive perception?
Tunny.
20?
Hold up, I forgot to open D&D Beyond.
He doesn't actually know. He's not ready.
It should be like 20 or 25.
I can never remember.
Nuts.
I accidentally opened up the digital handbook and now
really
it's
high.
loading.
His passive perception wasn't that high, but I think it went up recently.
His passive perception is 24.
Okay, cool. Then it's another Vesper type situation where, for the most part, I can just describe things.
His passive investigation is 25.
Given that it is now rather dark out, it's not the easiest to see out here. What makes it very clear is you can very clearly see inside the venue that you've just pulled up, and there is a small collection of courtiers around a table, as well as Xerxes talking to some of his attendants. Well, his name is Antivirus, thank you. You missed a lot. While Xerxes' attendants sort of discuss, it seems that you are now the immediate topic of a discussion, though from what you can tell about their body language and the way that they're mobilizing, Xerxes seems to stick a hand up, and you're not immediately going to die, but there's a lot of tension in the air, let's just say that. Well, Ravenna will just begin making her way over. You gonna walk forward, or are you just gonna stand in the center?
I shall.
Okay. She crosses her arms as she approaches you, widens her stance, and says, "Well, couldn't even show up on time, huh?"
Planning that dragon thing took a while.
I imagine. Quite an entrance.
Yeah, I originally was thinking about scaling the wall, but it's a little too tall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if you have the muscle for that. But I guess a dragon's pretty cool, too. Well, have you eaten?
No.
Well, you missed the first course. But there's still food, I guess. I can probably make room for you at my table. It's a bunch of dregs anyways.
For me?
Question, where is this?
This is in the balcony outside.
Okay. So everyone is back inside?
Theoretically, although a large group of people are pressed up against the window looking out. But Xerxes and his attendants are sort of keeping everyone back for now. Because we are not doing any activities outside, so, not everybody exactly realizes that a dragon just landed, but, the dining room did shake a little bit. So. Alright, are y'all walking inside?
I obviously hold the door open. I'm such a hero and all.
Of course, great. Okay, a number of Ravenna's honor guard show up. And I think you may have seen these guys before. And I may have a physical thing of them somewhere, but I cannot be bothered to pull it up. Maybe I will. I should have a reference for them. Remember when you were in the church after you claimed Sanctuary, and I think in the combat when you were trying to get Siobhan back, these guys showed up after she went down. Did any of that ring a bell?
No.
Okay, great. Let me just... Yeah, here they are. That's what I thought they looked like. All right. Real simple. It's a man in scale mail with a long sword and a Saleh helmet with a mask and a giant purple shield. Black, purple, and gold. That is the Lucinian Honor Guard. They rarely make any appearance, and they're dressed in very different regalia from the other guards who seem to be more in line with the color palette of the ballroom in the event tonight. The Honor Guard give you evil eyes as you open the door and Ravenna walks through.
I follow very slowly.
Okay, cool. They immediately flank you tightly. And at this point, what's happening in the ballroom, meanwhile, is things of... there's many murmurs, whispers. I imagine some people have straight up seen the dragon, and the rumors are making their way around the room. But before informal conversation during the second course of our meal can continue, one of Xerxes' courtiers, the ones who's been announcing the courses, comes up and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is still underway. Nothing to worry about. Please continue, eat, converse." Duke Longshire is immediately going to lean over to Abel and go, "What in the world is going on out there?"
Can I try to get a sense of what's going on?
Bye.
Because I guess I would have been, checking the time. I know that Graja was supposed to be making his appearance.
It's
It's
very likely that. I mean, you did, as you recall, you did see Ravenna sprint out of the room with daggers in hand. So it's very likely that you heard dragon at the very least. And you were obviously clued in on the plan, right? So.
Well, who else went outside? Because if she went by herself, I don't know if I would think this is a dragon. I don't know what I would expect.
No, I'm saying the word dragon was yelled in the room.
Okay.
There's still a lot going on. There's conversations, but she specifically responded to that and bolted with daggers that she pulled from under her dress.
Okay.
And if she heard it, it's very likely you heard it. Though maybe not everyone. At this point, it's more likely than not that everybody has heard something about a dragon and is a little freaked out.
I think I'll say, I don't know. There seems to be some disturbance. Perhaps we'll take a little walk around, see what's going on.
If there's a dragon, I'd prefer not to walk. I'd prefer to leave the premises immediately.
You would run away because of a dragon.
I'm sorry, you would not run away because of a dragon?
I must confess, I have some interest, being from.
Oh, and he immediately puts it all together and goes, yes, I forgot. Yes. Sorry, friend, I just do not seem to share your interests. At least the stories I have heard have colored me against the beasts. At least as far as I'm aware.
What an interesting turn of phrase. Because I think it all depends on,
The
to
color.
your point, the color.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's-
All right. So, this room is effectively empty, Grouger. As you make your way through, the honor guard are effectively, literally breathing down your neck. This is a separate ballroom, which is partially set up. On the table, you observe that there is a series of masks and some attendants making their way, preparing for something else that's happening, but this is not where the meal is being served, so it is largely empty at this point. As you make your way forward, Xerxes intercepts Ravenna. And before he can say anything, she chirps up and says, "We have room for another suitor, right?" And Xerxes says, "Not exactly, but if you would prefer to entertain the charade, I will defer to you, my darling." She goes, "Great, then I'll just have him sit at my... May I have a word with him first?" She goes, "Sure," and just walks away, making her way through the curtains. And Grouger, you just now hear the faint echoes of music on the other side of the ballroom as you are in this empty room with two honor guards and King Xerxes. He walks up to you, leans down, stares you in the eyes. I also don't know, just as a refresher, the last time we got this man's physical description up, but just so you have it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the Hero Forge, but the Hero Forge is the Hero Forge. It doesn't really do it justice. The most striking feature is his tattooed eyes, which are a very light brown, but the whites of his eyes are tattooed black. He has a striking nose, very thick eyebrows, but is mostly bald on the top with just hair going into a ponytail in his back, and it's a dark golden hair. He is wearing an outfit that I think you've probably seen him wear before, which is a white, not a barred shirt, I forget what it's called, but it has sleeves that are frilled, a wide V-neck, some jewelry, as well as some dark tanned leather and gold accents. And of course, he is kitted out with all of his rings. And he's probably, I don't know if I have his height recorded, but he's, I believe, just short of 7 foot tall or something similar. He should be like 6'8", 6'7". So he leans down and says, "What are your intentions of coming here tonight?" By the way, before you answer, you cannot willingly tell a lie. Just throwing that out there.
No save.
Let me confirm that. That is what I am pulling up now.
I will purposely fail it.
Okay, got it. Yes, it is a charisma save. You purposely fail. Got it. So you cannot willingly tell a lie. Deliberately. So,
I am here to see Ravenna again and have a good time. That's all.
you surely know that you're not exactly invited to an event of this caliber.
And that is why I showed up so spectacularly funny like.
Uh-huh. And you think I will entertain you in this? Or do you merely hope I shall?
I feel like you will kill me later.
Perhaps, son, though
Well, I feel I am fine for now.
I despise unnecessary bloodshed. You seem to keep cropping up You and the other weed. Tell me, are you associated with any other guests this evening in attendance?
No.
No. I need you to justify that answer.
I don't know where they are. I don't know who they are.
So you're not associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
I will accept this justification. Okay, Xerxes scans you, and he seems to attempt to gain some insight, which he fails spectacularly, and says, "Very well. I will entertain this charade, or perhaps genuine interest, whatever you may call it, but know that the gauntlet you are entering is far and away outside of my purview. My daughter's realm is treacherous, and should you wish to foray into it, the consequences will be on your hands, not mine. Do you understand what I'm saying, son?"
Yeah, I feel like she's more likely to end me than you.
That is a wise assumption. So, I suppose, in my grace, enjoy tonight, as Ravenna has made a way for you. But then he leans in, grabs you by the back of the neck, and whispers into your right ear. Oh no, left ear. "But if you try anything, or if I see anything that I dislike, that is in my purview. So be afraid of both of us. You are in my court tonight." And then he transfers his hand from the back of your neck, taps you on the back, and says, "Have fun."
Get out there, sport.
Yeah. So the honor guard relent, and you can make your way towards the door.
I make my way towards the door.
All right. I have an important question. What are you wearing?
If there is no anti-magic fields, I would have disguised self a outfit. If there is, I'm in my normal clothes. Did not think that far ahead.
That's pretty good. Okay. Well, the good news is, looking down, your disguised clothes are, in fact, working. So,
The clown outfit.
I really
No,
hope that's not what it. So please describe for me your disguised attire then. What are you wearing to the party, my
Can I
boy?
step in the room real quick?
Yeah, you can step in the room.
Alright, the first person I see that looks cool, I look like that.
You just change it.
And I go, oh my gosh, we're wearing the same thing. One of us has got to change.
Are you actually going to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Dear God. Okay, well, funny enough, I'm prepared for this. You walk into the room, and the first person you see, who turns as the curtain unfurls, is a man you do not recognize, indicated by this pink token and name here. He has short black hair, clean sharp jaw, and greenish eyes, hazel, and he is wearing a dark gray noble shirt with purple and blue highlights and gold jewelry. And you immediately copy his outfit by casting Disguise Self. And then you say what exactly again for the room, please?
Oh my gosh. What a crazy coincidence. We're wearing the same thing. One of us has got to change now.
All right. He immediately turns to Ravenna and goes, "Who the hell is this?" The rest of the table just looks around, confused. And Ravenna says, "He's your pathetic competition."
Yeah, bro, she called you pathetic. You're in.
They all kind of look at each other confused.
The meek will rise.
And Ravenna gestures for you to join her on her left, on the other side of the table.
And I shall.
Okay. You make your way over. You sit down. Very quickly after your entrance, an attendant
carrots.
makes their way over with food. Not correct. The meal is very tailored, please. So listen up. You also missed the first course, so your palate is going to be destroyed. But keep up, please. This course that was served after the incorrect third course was served initially is butter poached lobster with saffron and citrus, accompanied by fresh garden greens, which maybe include carrots.
I'm eating a carrot right now.
Okay, that's great. You were
He pulled it out
grudging.
of his pocket.
The immersion in real life. It's 4D D&D.
Okay. Well, congratulations. The entire table of suitors is now pretty much staring at you. And Adrian Rosewater at some point speaks up and says, "I'm sorry. Is that the dragon?"
I have been called that.
You what?
Nice to meet you. My name? You might have heard of it before. Roger Griff.
All right, he's rolling to see if he's heard of it before.
He has not heard of it
He
before.
has not. All right. Well, he is not. He shakes your hand and he says, "Adrian Rosewater. I have not heard of you before. What house are you associated with?"
Oh?
What noble house are you associated with?
What was your shipping company called?
I'm a detective. I wander from these lands,
So,
solving mysteries.
Uh,
Surely you've heard of my work.
Gregory
Big Mountain?
Grafton leans over and goes, so are you of noble blood?
Wednesday's missing?
What?
You ever heard of any of these?
Duke Longshire leans over and goes, "I'm sorry, are you saying you're an author?"
No, I'm a detective. I write. Well, I guess I am an author. I write about my escapades as a detective.
Wait, so these are your cases?
Mm-hmm.
How many cases have you solved?
Ooh, too many to count. The only way I kept track of them was in my handy-dandy notebook, but I've been separated from the original. And so what I have written down is only what I remember.
Rena says, "I might be able to get that back. For a price."
I can assure you it is too much.
She smirks and says, "Not everything costs money. There are other things that are valuable."
I'm hearing this, right?
Yes.
What, you see?
My eyebrow is like all the way up to my forehead.
You know, I've been many places, I've seen many things. You wouldn't believe some of them.
By the way, you never finished the story about the, what was it? There was a dragon. You said it was Bottomless Lake.
Oh yes, the beast is awake at Bottomless Lake. It's a classic.
I'm going to say to the rest of the table,
Yeah.
is this normal? Is this how these events usually go?
Everybody except Duke Longshire, who defers to the rest of the table, and Ernst Reinhardt, who's picking at his food, viciously shakes their head no.
And I go, so it's not common that a latecomer appears and seems to take all the attention of the intended. Well,
and
I'm
Adrian
not
says,
sure.
Adrian says, "No, and I find it to be rather uncouth, as the Linné fellow said."
So, DM, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like get people talking about it so I can kind of like move around a little bit.
You're trying to
Like, I don't know
radicalize
if
the people?
I don't know if this is. I need some time to think. I don't know about you, man,
but I only
do
got
not
here as
like
fast as
this.
the dragon flies.
All right. Well, Duke Longshire leans in and says, "Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm interested. What do you mean bottomless lake? You mean Lake Hylian?"
Hold on, let me defer my map real quick.
Where is Bottomless Lake actually?
Hold on, I'm pulling up the map.
It is, as a DM, it is Lake Hylian.
Yes, it is Lake Hylian.
You've been to Lake Hylian.
Mm-hmm. The
Isn't
bottom
it-
of it.
Isn't it damn
Or at least
cold up
I
there?
think. It was during the summer.
Ah, interesting. Well, at this point, this end of the table has formed a small coup and is talking amongst themselves.
They're rebelling.
Adrian is crossing his arms while occasionally making food enter his mouth when he can stop sulking. And Duke Longshire
food enter his mouth.
yeah, you know how you do. And
Yeah. I
and
do that every day.
And Duke Longshire is just entertained by this entire situation.
In the meantime, are there any guards who look like maybe slightly amused, like they're not taking it as serious?
No, they're all on high alert. They're all locked in. There are 4 guards. I should
Well, there's a
probably
green
put the other
guy.
guys here. There's a green
Any
guy.
servants?
The servants are a little scared. They're a little skittish, we'll say.
I think I'm trying to look for somebody who might know something or have information. I guess somebody who looks well connected, like a high level servant.
Okay. Who has information on what? I'm confused on your angle here.
I'm trying to find my mother.
Yeah, good luck. Okay. She ain't here.
Well, there's somebody who can make a
currently.
trumpet noise.
As far as you can tell.
No, I'm not saying that she's here, but I have not heard from her in weeks.
Yes. I mean, you can keep your eye out, but it's what you're asking is a little weird. The person who would know the most.
So based on the clothing of some of the servants, I might know who's higher rank. Higher ranking people might have more connections to higher class people.
The only rank you can tell is the announcer who is wearing a different suit who comes out between courses, but he's been shuffling around coordinating the event all night. So there's at no point where he stops and interacts with any of the guests. He is exclusively talking to kitchen staff and occasionally makes his way over to the band. He effectively seems to be the MC of tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find a way to connect with him.
All right, how are you going to go about that? We're in the middle of dinner.
Well,
how are we going to
that is why I was saying the things I was saying. Like I don't like this, and I was getting up to go.
Oh, are you going to physically get up and go? Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you going?
Yeah, that's why I said I need some time to think so I could excuse myself from the table.
All right. Well, there's guards at either door. There's nobody at the curtains, but
I can go to the guards and I'm going to ask them. I would like to see my servant for a bit.
okay, these guys.
Uh-huh.
All right. They nod, I believe, and T. Virus is going to be at the courtier table somewhere. I think I had you set up here. Now that things have settled, they nod, and the one says, "You may retrieve him."
I nod and I head over there.
Okay, cool.
Can't wait for Norton to show up.
And Tividus, a moment, please, if you would.
Yes, sir.
Well, now can I take him aside?
Okay. Would you like to just take a corner and just talk quietly?
Mhm,
Okay, all right, got it.
So
What do you need, sir?
It seems as though the dragon's appearance has caused a little bit of a shift in the focus. It may be an opportunity for me to learn a little. I'm trying to speak in code, essentially. It's an opportunity
Brother,
for me
we
to find
both
out a little
know a
bit.
secret language.
Oh, yeah. I'll say
Oxidon.
celestial.
Oh.
Is it even real?
What do you mean, is it real?
Like in your world?
Yes.
Do we both know the secret language?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been
Just making
used
sure.
multiple times, yeah. Freaking, the only language so far that's come up that isn't real is, what is it, Loxodon?
The cabal will rise.
So I'll tell him. So I will have started in English and then switched to.
Mm-hmm. Common, but yes,
Switched it.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, if you have an opportunity to talk to the people in the kitchen, or, I confess, I do also want to know, perhaps even if we cannot rescue her today, I'd like to know what is of my mother. I have yet to hear from her in weeks.
Right. No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
I kind of clap him on the shoulder and I say, "All right, thank you. Now I'll head back to the table."
Okay. All right, what's NTV Riz doing?
I'm just gonna return to the courtier table for now.
Okay. All right. Understood. The second course wraps up. The plates are collected and taken. And lo and behold, the MC of the evening, who I'm just going to label MC. Linden Steel. I have to kill myself now. Okay.
Is it Mariah Carey?
Yeah, that's her.
Water bucket.
Water bucket. Chicken jockey. The MC
It's
comes
Master
out.
Chief!
The MC comes out. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the third course is served. Please enjoy." And the servants begin making their way out before he makes his way back through the double doors. Pretty quickly, in and out. And now, for real, the pheasant is served, officially.
Oh, that guy was killed because of that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He was vaporized.
Of course. Roast pheasant with mild mushroom juice. Serve some truffle-infused root vegetables. So, here we go.
Root vegetables.
I think I'll say something
Mhm.
to Ravenna.
Like carrot.
Carrots. Uh-huh.
So, Princess, I would have thought we would see the entire royal party tonight. Where is your mother? Stepmother?
There you go. Well, you know, she's not exactly a social butterfly. She was gonna be here tonight, but there were some complications involving some unexpected arrivals on the guest list, and she looks at you as she says that.
And I'll look at Graja and say, yes, seems there were.
As you're trying to probe her over there, she does not take her eyes off of you and gives you the most fake smile. So I don't think she'll be attending this evening.
Yes, what a pity. I had hoped to perhaps learn from her a little bit more about you.
I don't think she could tell you much, honestly.
So you're not close?
No, not exactly. We exist in very
Yeah.
different worlds here.
Is that so?
It is.
I will say I'm quite a big family man myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Well, as you know, I have my brother and parents are both deceased. And
Both.
so
So sad.
family is quite important to me. This is why I suppose I am a bit surprised to her absence, but of course, what of your mother, if I may ask?
You may not. And then she just goes back to eating her pheasant.
Do I know anything? Have I heard anything about how her mother died?
So, Beta and Saul gave as much information as they have. And it isn't, honestly, a lot. Let me pull it up, because I recently just locked in more details about this, and I have to be very, very, very discerning about what exactly I give away. So, Ravenna is actually older, which is not super common knowledge. I don't think the family has been honest about her age a lot, but she's getting older, like literally approaching her 30s, theoretically. But technically, nobody really knows how old she is except Ravenna and Xerxes. Saul was born to another woman in a relatively short marriage to a woman that Xerxes did not have the same interest that he had in his first late wife. That's really
And this first late
all
wife,
that's known.
what was? I was gonna ask, did we learn her name at all?
You learned her first name was Mila, Mila.
Mm-hmm.
Whose mother was that?
That's Ravenna's biological mother. Xerxes' first wife of 3,
Mm-hmm.
including his current, it's Malachi's mom. So Ravenna's first wife, Mila. Ravenna's second wife, who bore him Saul.
Ravenna?
What?
You were saying
Xerxes.
Ravenna's first wife and
Yeah,
Ravenna's second
that's,
wife?
that's very wrong. Xerxes' first wife,
Damn,
Mila, who
Ravenna.
bore him Ravenna. Xerxes' second wife, who bore him Saul, and she had the Debellum connection, the weak. And his third wife is Artemis de Lumiere. Now Artemis knocked.
So I'm gonna look at her and I'm gonna try to say something very quietly to her.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, "What are we even doing here? You clearly have eyes for this one."
She's just gonna not acknowledge it and just eat her pheasant.
Oh, have
That
you
would be
not
so
come to terms
perfect
with it
to write
yourself?
that line.
She's gonna dart an eye over to you, annoyed.
So, if I were interested in someone and I was a little bashful about showing it, I might act quite similarly, actually. Perhaps, maybe, I could help you.
Okay. Let me check something really quickly, because I'm pretty sure I can do this. Yes, perfect, great. She fully puts her fork down, cranes her neck over to you, locks her eyes angrily, and says nothing, but messages you. Do you really take me as a bashful person, Malachi?
And I'll say back, I don't know you. You've never taken the chance to get to know me, and
That's not
I've never
my
gotten a chance
fault,
to know you.
is it?
Oh, dear, little sister.
I'm older than you. And you're the
Curious.
one who ran away. Or did you forget that? At
And
this
I'm gonna
point, she's no
send-
longer making eye contact with you, is still messaging you, but is looking like she's just eating her pheasant.
No, I'm doing the same thing. And at this, I'll pause every few minutes and say to other people, "This is very good."
Meanwhile, the
Yeah.
conversation I'm having.
Yeah, are you just talking to the people? What are you talking about?
You asked me what Longshire asked me how I turned into a dragon.
Oh
and I
yeah,
responded,
yes,
"It's
yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
stupidest
sorry.
thing in the world."
That was wild. That's what you answered?
You're gonna tell him the truth because that goes insane.
You need to read this out.
I said, okay, so Longshire asked me how I turned into a dragon, and I said, a potion of dragon striding. It is very helpful when I am trying to traverse long distances. It's quite the rare potion, I've heard. Parts of its creation involve distilling myconid farts, or so I've been told by my alchemist clients. Is he in shock?
No. I don't know if he believes you.
What?
What's it? Roll deception?
I shall roll deception. E. D for deception.
B.
Oh, there it is. That is right. I got an 18.
Okay, cool. Well, he got an 11. So he goes, fascinating. So you know alchemists, then? Could you recommend one? I've been wanting to get my hands on potions. We have nothing of the sort coming out of Parculus.
You didn't hear this from me, but all the alchemists I know are, they're very underground.
Ah, you mean literally underground? As the Myconids
Well,
said.
let me tell you, one of them's underground.
Ah.
I had to go all the way through the Underdark. It was crazy.
Oh, what hellish experience that must have been.
Yeah, the whole thing's like purple and green down there.
Yeah, so I've heard. I know very little of the place. There are no such outcroppings underneath the Armestis archipelago. Actually, I'm sure. And he turns over, and Reginald is like fully disinterested, and he just kind of tones down his volume and goes, "I'm sure Reginald knows something about that. We haven't really talked. I don't think there's an Underdark under there. It's primarily under the mainland, so I've been told."
Yeah, it's pretty wild down there.
Yes, very interesting. So you're quite the adventurer then.
Oh yeah, I've been everywhere.
Okay. So at this point, you
been
two are just
everywhere,
talking
man.
because Longshire has checked out of everything. And Adrian, who likes to attempt to butt in with Ravenna, is now cut off from both sides by Crusher and Longshire, who are commandeering the table while everybody else is completely cut off. Victor, however, at this point is going to lean in a little bit and join in with Longshire. And Ernst is still dissociated. Adrian's just kind of caught in the middle. Okay, so back to psychic nothing conversation.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
While this is happening, I'm going to lean over to some of the other courtiers and ask if
Yeah.
they know anything about why the queen isn't here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, you're antivirus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Norton
He's
Antivirus.
Norton Antivirus. Okay, so there are no joke characters, Nick. We take this very seriously. So the courtiers look at each
So
other.
oogly boogly.
It's also not a joke character technically. Victor St. Lucius's courtier looks over at you and says, "You may want to keep that down. The king does not like rumors about the queen being spread. He's always gotten caught on some nasty ones regarding that." And then the other courtier
see.
next to you leans in and goes, "I'm fairly certain that she's just not a social person, but sometimes I wonder. I'm honestly not sure. Allegedly, she was supposed to be here tonight. At least, as of what I heard when I spoke to Lord Rosewater. It was very strange, isn't it?
Indeed.
Perhaps she will still make an appearance. Sometimes she'll attend events, but not in full." And the other guy goes, yes, sometimes things, very political. An appearance can be grand, and for only an hour, a half hour, it can make an impact. She's done it many times before.
What time is it?
You check the
Roughly.
clocks around the room, which are pendulum clocks, and it's about 8:45, I think. Approaching 9. We're going to say 8:50 because dessert is about to be... Oh, no, yeah, it's definitely 8:45 because dessert is going out and the third course is wrapping up very shortly. Anything else?
No.
Okay, cool. Psychic conversation. What were you going to do?
Yeah, I think I said, so, you believe I ran away?
Yeah.
And what of my siblings? Did they run away as well?
Obviously not.
So my brother being sold into slavery.
That is not what happened.
Is that not what happened?
Absolutely not. He was
Curious.
sold, not as a slave, and it wasn't for any money. It was a family that my father knew. It's ridiculous.
That is not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
I didn't peg you as one who would not question.
Oh, I question. But don't you think I'm a little closer to the facts than you are? Mister been living as a fugitive for, I don't know, 15 years?
Interesting. But, truthfully, I don't suspect that you had the same level of care for siblings that I have.
Well, I don't have any real siblings now, do I?
Oh, interesting. So, Soul. Nothing.
She's just eating her pheasant. Wrapping up.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought.
All right, where's MC? Desserts are served, ladies and gentlemen. The third course is over. Please, plates will be collected. All right, the third course and final course, not the third course, dessert goes out. Dark chocolate torte with raspberry. I can't read that word, and I don't even care, honestly. Accompanied by dessert wine. I'm going to look this up.
What's the word?
I'm looking it up. Hold on. It looks French, which means I don't like it. Coulis. Coulis?
Coolie.
Ew. What is this? Okay. All right. I've seen this.
Coolie.
I've seen this.
He's making
Coulis.
us eat gross stuff.
Coulis of Fooly Coulis. Fooly Coulis. Coulis Fooly. All right. That's it. It's like chocolate cake. It's whatever. Who cares? I outsourced the culinary aspect of this to ChatGPT. I said, I don't want to design a 3-course meal. You do it. So, I just went with whatever he said. I like the roast pheasant. I would totally eat that. But, and the lobster? Oh. Yeah, the melon soup. I was like, yeah, whatever. Sure. It's apparently a thing. But
Wait, I've had Coolie. This stuff's really good.
yeah. Well, there you go. You eating big tonight.
Fully in the coolie.
It's mostly just
and
like
cooling.
fruit paste.
Yes. All right. Well, everybody's digging into the third course. At this point, things are relatively quiet. Are you still, Roger? Are you still engaged in conversation with the other guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys talking about now?
I don't know.
Okay, great. Well, Ravenna's going to interrupt, assuming that you're still talking, and then say, hey, why don't you tell them about that time you tried to crawl through a sewer? That was like a foot
You're
and
gonna
a
have
half
to be more
wide.
specific than that.
Not a big one, in the castle.
Oh,
And then my dad caught you and dragged you out. And then Duke Longshire immediately goes, hold on, you've been in the castle. And Adrian goes, you've been in the castle?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a political prisoner of the state.
What? What is he talking about? At this point, Ernst Reinhardt leans in and eyes up Roger and goes, wait.
You.
I know you. I know you.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a misunderstanding, I was there and kind of like a wrong place at the wrong time type situation, I guess. And then, long story short, prisoner of the state for a while. And then that's happened to me a bunch of times though in various countries, so I thought I would try to use one of my classic escape techniques. And I tried to crawl out through the sewer, and well, let me tell you, they thought of that here. They were prepared.
Adrian Rosewater just looks around, extremely confused and massively demoralized, but enjoying his chocolate torte. But he gets one more spoonful in his mouth, and he just he swallows. He goes, hold on. So, how exactly do you find yourself here, then? And
Dragon?
not dead? Are you
not dead?
allowed to be here?
I'm still not really sure on that, to be honest.
Ravenna leans in, looks him in the eyes, and says, Tubby, it's a simple lesson. Anything I say goes.
I agree with her. That was one of the things I learned when I was a political prisoner. Do not go against her.
Adrian just, he goes, this has been, great. Love the food. Food's great. Thank you, everyone. I think, however, Ravenna, it's been an honor, everyone. A pleasure to meet you all. I think I need to make my way to a restroom. Yes, if I will excuse myself.
What's to do with that guy?
And then he leaves.
It's kind of weird.
Ernst Reinhardt takes the opportunity and slides his chair over to
So
Groucher.
the chair is not leaving the floor. It's just
No, it's
scraping.
Screeching noises.
And he just
He
parks.
would never do
He
that.
parks next to you, and he says, "Fairly certain my father was going to kill you at one point. Still could.
There are a lot of people who can kill me.
But you're a killer yourself. You've drawn your fair share of blood, haven't you?"
I mean, when you're in my line of work, there's a lot of times where...
As a detective.
Yeah, but... listen, I'm going to be real with you here. Being a detective does not pay very well. For some reason, people want you to solve their problems for free. Crazy, I know. And then also, sometimes people aren't really happy about the outcome, and so sometimes you got to be creative with your escapes, and that doesn't always manifest in not leaving a couple of people.
How many monsters have you
Alive.
killed?
Depends on what you mean by the definition of monster. Are you talking about like creatures,
Sure.
like animals?
Anything above a common rabbit or deer. Abominations. Eldritch beings.
I mean,
Elementals.
a couple.
A couple.
I fought the ape on the Forbidden Mountain, but I don't think he died. Or did he? It was a standstill, you know.
Uh-huh. And how many
I-
men have you killed?
I was part of... Oh. Ooh. Is it a bad sign that I don't know?
Do you say that out loud?
Well, like at a hush, like
Mumbling.
a little
Ravenna.
quieter.
Ravenna looks very interested in this conversation.
That was murder.
He loves killing and death.
So answer the question, Grouger. How many men have you killed?
At least like 6.
Any of them innocent?
Well,
Exposed?
at least 1. He was a guard, and he was I probably could have let him go, but I needed to get out of there fast, and it was the only way.
Ernst shakes his head, leans further in, and says,
Are we gonna kiss?
"No, not that close. Not that close. You be quiet." He's like maybe like 6 inches from you now. Leaned in, look at the table, and he says, "That's the problem. They're never innocent. Anyone you mark as a target is vermin. And to make sure it doesn't come back to get you, you just have to make sure you're on the right side. The only issue is you've been on the wrong side for a long time, Grouger."
Imagine him with really small hands right now.
He's wielding his dessert knife rather with a. Why is he holding the knife like that? Yeah,
A little bit of
with a little bit of intent. Let's say that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few situations where it's like, this might be the end, but sometimes it bounced back. I was like 60 for a while once. Or 80.
Since this is happening like right across the table, I'm
Yep.
noticing the knife,
Yep.
and I'm just watching for if he does anything.
Okay, got it. He starts to after some time. He's a little tense, but it doesn't look like he's gonna do anything. His body language shifts, but he begins twiddling the knife, like playing it between his fingers and rotating it effortlessly, and doing a loop around his fingers and going back to his thumb.
Okay.
Oh god. god, I want to do something so bad, but I don't think it's wise.
Don't tell a Connecticut that's a bad idea.
We create a new timeline.
Yeah, quick save. We
quick
find
save.
something out.
Yeah.
Create the funniest timeline.
Can you imagine if it worked like that? Technically, I have the power to make it work like that, but I'm not going to. All right,
So-
Ernst.
This was just like
Ernst backs off a
Malachi's
bit.
imagination,
Yeah.
imagining what would happen.
It's like for Sherlock when he goes like, all right, he will go here and he will go here and then I will discombobulate him and then the entire scene plays out in like 1 millisecond.
Yeah. All right, Ernst eases up a bit and makes some progress on his dessert.
Ravenna, this food is very very nice. This is definitely better than my camp rations.
Well, it's the perk of being me. All this for me.
I remember a time when I was eating some sort of insect creature. It was very
I don't want to know.
it wasn't good.
All right, she finishes her truck with Tort, and then says, "So where have you been, detective? Solving crimes?"
I was in Tarshiv for a while.
Interesting.
There was somebody, they were trying to open up a tomb.
Those
They
are
needed
state
someone
secrets.
to solve the riddle.
Roger can't hold state secrets. We know this.
That was a state secret?
Not anymore. It's not.
But you probably shouldn't tell people what we've been doing.
That was what I was doing.
Yeah.
They needed to
were all
solve
there.
the riddle.
So she
I helped him out. I was kind of
so
cool with
you're a
it.
Tomb Raider now, huh?
I didn't go in. Great game series. I didn't go in.
Why is it playing? This doesn't feel apropos. Go back. Give me Tchaikovsky again. Give me the Nutcracker.
Pro?
Apropos.
I forgot there's music.
Apropos. Apropos.
Apropos of nothing.
Apropos. So anyways,
And what is a tomb if not a puzzle?
I don't know, a place where you bury dead people?
I don't know what was in there.
So why'd you even go?
They paid me to solve the riddle.
Oh. How long did it take you to solve?
I mean, like an hour or something. It was a lot of translating work. I didn't really get symbols.
She
Once they, like, kinda told me, I
she
figured
turns
it
to
out.
Abel and goes, "You wouldn't know anything." And she goes, "No, you wouldn't. Never mind." Or would you, since you're from Tarshiv, right?
Oh,
Yes, but as I've said, I've been doing a lot of traveling.
So you don't know what tomb
yes.
you'd be talking about? There are a lot of
Many
tombs
of
there.
the tombs are sacred. Many of the tombs and out there are very sacred. So
Hmm.
we tend not to go out there. It's why we very often to circumvent our superstitions. To circumvent our superstitions, so we will hire others to go ahead.
So is what you did illegal?
if it was, I am finding out about that now. Let me
I'm
write that
starting
in
to
my little
think-
book here.
I'm starting to think that you don't ask enough questions before you take a job.
Well, you see, in my line of work, you don't get the ability to ask those questions, because
Why?
You know,
Because you can't
gold
protect
is-
yourself if it goes wrong?
no, it's more I am broke.
Oh, gross.
Interesting. You know,
It kind of doesn't matter what
Much.
the answer is because I need the money.
How much money do you make in a month?
It is never that consistent.
Oh, gosh.
The correct answer was, well, last month I made like 2,000 gold, which I think is technically true.
Yeah, but if we calculate for expenses, oh. Yeah, I mean, it took me quite a while to amass the money I had before I was arrested, and now I'm a little more desperate again.
Hmm. I can imagine being poor. It sounds awful.
It has some advantages.
Like what? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Meh, you gotta. I mean, it's a great motivator. That's pretty much the only advantage.
But I'm already motivated. Why would me not having money make me motivated to do anything else?
I don't know.
You learn a new level of resiliency.
You eat
do
You don't know about
insects.
being broke.
Okay.
And I say this without looking up from my food.
Of course.
You eat
of
moldy
course.
bread and insects, and
Ravenna looks back over and goes, "Oh, so you were financially challenged for a time?
a time.
Not you.
Yeah, like
No, him.
oh, my bad. Like a little turtle like goes into the
Back
shell.
into his shell.
You know, our family is, you know, we grow wine, and there have been seasons where the grapes did not grow as plentiful, and there were times when things were. Now, I dare not say we were poor, but things were not always as liquid.
Is that like a wine joke?
Yes, it was.
That's pretty good.
So, what else are we to expect on this night?
Well, I'm very, very excited for our next event, but I'm fairly certain that will be announced right about. Ladies and gentlemen, dessert has been served. If you would, please clear your plates, ready yourselves. We will be moving back into the other ballroom for our final dances of the evening.
Cheese skinning.
What?
I don't know.
Nick needs to roll like a 20 on dancing.
I thought that would be something. You've never been cheese skinning?
What are you talking about?
It's like you kind of like skin the cheese and you try to get the thinnest slice.
No. Where do they do that?
Probably Wisconsin.
I don't.
Is this another poor people thing? Can you
Maybe.
not just
I thought it
eat-
was a local
Can
delicacy.
you not just eat blocks of cheese?
I think you. I mean, you still eat it. I think it's just something to do for fun before you eat it.
Wow,
It's like peeling the cheese stick
you all
in the
live
little
such
strands.
sad little lives. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's in the eye of the beholder. Not the creature. Not the creature. Not the.
Have you ever fought a beholder?
Actually, yes.
You did. In the Underdark, yes.
Well, I mean, it depends on your definition of fight. It was a little bit of skirmishing, and then a little bit of we need to leave. This
So
is
you
not
didn't
going to
kill
end
it,
well.
of course.
Oh no!
But you did encounter one and survive.
Yeah.
That's quite
Who
impressive.
didn't survive?
Only we knew.
A few people. A few people indeed.
It's kind of crazy that there's been this guy that's been cloned, and it's not the people that have been specifically cloned.
All right. Well, the evening is about to shift gears as we head into our final event. Suitors, you
Crutcher
are
just
all
remembers Moon Dude dead at the
effectively
bottom of that lake.
ushered down the tunnel. All of you who remain, I believe there's now 6 of you with our 2 losses and 1 addition. We're still sticking it out here, and there we go. Yeah, Ravenna's gonna disappear for a bit. Xerxes, I don't even know where he is. Xerxes disappears for a bit. I'm just putting them in the kitchen for now, so they're out of sight. Courtiers, I believe you'll make your way in soon, but it'll be you're gonna have to go the long way. We are pivoting to a very fun and exciting event that I've been waiting for 3
Sly Cooper dancing minigame.
weeks. Sly Cooper dancing minigame quick time event. It's also in Secret Agent Clank. It's very fun. So there's like a little tango minigame. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, you're tangoing, and then Murray's doing a Murray mission.
But that game actually kind of sucks. Secret Agent Clank is not great. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be the one.
You're sorry.
Yeah, I am a
It
little bit
hurts my
sorry.
feelings.
I know. Such a controversial opinion
How could this have happened?
everybody in here is such a big fan of the Ratchet and Clank franchise. I hate to
We call them
demoralize people
Ratcheters.
like that. Yeah, we just call them Ratchet. You know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the penultimate event of the evening, the final big event of the evening, the final. Actually, no. Actually, I completely lied. I actually literally completely lied. It is the penultimate dance of the evening. There's one more big event after this before our closing toast. It is time for the masquerade ball. The MC ushers you in. The room is made dark. There are a few dim lights in the corner, a few candles going, but that's about it. All of you... Am I crazy? Are there 7 suitors? Oh, yeah, there are 7 suitors. I thought there were only 6. All right, well, there's 7 of you. The MC says, suitors, this evening, before the princess selects a final dance, each one of you will be in disguise, in a masquerade, a full masquerade. Please choose a mask wisely, and it will affect your entire visage, if you would. And on the table are a series of masks, bird masks specifically, all avian themed. And this ballroom has now been very quickly and differently decorated with large loops of purple, gold, golden orange, and light green. What are they called? Runners? Lord help me. I cannot remember my terminology. All around the room. And it's very dimly lit. Mask time! In front of you are more than 7 masks, so you'll have a few to spare. I need to find the actual document. Here it is. The mask of the falcon, eagle, raven, peacock, blue jay, magpie, albatross, cardinal, sparrow, and egret. Choose a mask. Go. Victor St.
like a
Lucius
race?
immediately takes the mask of the cardinal.
Wait, say it again.
The mask of the falcon, eagle, raven, peacock, blue jay, magpie, albatross, sparrow, and egret. St. Lucius has chosen the mask of the cardinal. Ernst walks up and quickly picks up the mask of the eagle.
I'll take the
Guess I'll
raven.
go. Alright, fine.
Abel
Yeah,
takes
it's
the
Raven. It was
mask
kind of crazy. I was
of
gonna
the
go for that one, but... Well, what's left?
What is now left with a bunch of people looking around deciding is falcon, peacock, blue jay, magpie, albatross, sparrow, egret.
Ah, yes. The sparrow.
You and Duke Longshire go for the sparrow at the same time.
Oh, you can go. I'll go for the...
It's really not a big deal if you'd prefer it.
This is kind of... I'm sure it was there. I was gonna pick it up. And...
Okay, all right, yes. And he takes it.
Alright, and then actually I'll take the,
Reginald takes peacock.
Alright.
Now it's just you and Grafton deliberating over falcon, blue jay, magpie, albatross, egret.
Well, I gotta go for the blue jay.
Okay, you go for the blue jay. You get the blue jay, and Grafton is still looking over like, he'll go for egret. All right. Suitors, if you would please don your mask. It's time to don the mask. You all putting the mask on?
Can I kind of like walk to like a corner for a second?
Which corner?
I kind of want to be in a spot kind of by myself.
Okay. You can go
kinda
here.
like
This is an empty corner.
Slightly,
mostly.
no, kind of slightly where like my hands or whatever can be obscured.
Okay. It's a big empty room with guards on every corner.
Yeah, so like if I could
attendants.
stand a little behind the others or just with my back turned. So
Okay.
I'm not like
You can reasonably do that just behind the clump of people. Yeah.
Is there any like symbols, runes, anything on this?
Oh, he's trying to do that. Well, you got to roll for me perception, please. Or maybe investigation.
The-
Probably perception.
My passive is 16.
Well, would you like to use your passive or would you like to roll?
I'd like to use my passive.
All right, with your passive perception, you can see the mask is ornately crafted with largely a metal base with some foam on the back. The beak is rather pronounced but distinct on each of the masks. Yours, particularly, the mask of the raven, is long and dark with black, effectively black, and some gold highlights. You don't see any visible writing on the mask itself. It's rather smooth and, in fact, quite heavy. All right. How many more do I have? Is that 5 of 7? Sparrow. Who am I missing? Eagle, Raven, Peacock, Blue Jay, Cardinal, Sparrow, Egret. Egret. You know what? We're going to make the eagle a different color so I can see it. Okay, that didn't work at all. Outstanding. All right, there we go. All right, is everybody wearing their mask now? Yes, yes.
I am.
Okay.
Does everybody know who they are?
Do I get the sense that this is just a regular mask, essentially?
Well, I don't know if I would say that. This is not a regular mask. This is
It's gonna turn
this
me
is
into a blue
very
jay.
heavy and precisely manufactured. If this was a regular mask, it would weigh 1/4 pound. This weighs like a full pound.
Gonna hunt me for sport.
And do I know if this is normal
Would
for
you
like Lucinian
socially?
customs or?
Roll for me a history check.
That's a 7.
You know what a masquerade ball is. You have no familiarity with any of this execution of it, and whether it is new, old, common, foreign, or any of the above. All I can tell you is you know what a masquerade ball is, in theory. So the mask is on your face? You're putting it
I don't
on?
want to.
You don't want
I
to
don't
put
want
you
to.
don't want to put the mask on. You're the Raven,
No.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, okay. That's fine. I just need I kind of need you guys to tell me when you put the mask on.
I'm going to put the mask in my. I'm like going to lift it up to my face
Uh-huh.
and then adjust my disguise self
How
to look
so?
like I'm wearing it.
That is not going to work because you have seen everybody who's put the mask around you be completely transformed in appearance when they don it. For example, the eagle, immediately upon donning the mask encapsulates his face, extends. It doesn't look like a lifelike bird, but it looks very much like a Mardi Gras style masquerade mask. It covers his face. His build changes, and he is now wearing an ornate dark brown suit with gold and white highlights. It changes everything about your appearance. It is a real masquerade ball. You cannot just put the mask on.
I'll put it on.
Okay, Grouger, you put the mask on, and you have received the mask of the Blue Jay. You have a baby blue suit with white and black trim. The mask seems to become lighter as it adjusts to your face. There's only one person who hasn't put his mask on now.
Hey, where's the kid, by the way?
St. Lucius? He picked the cardinal.
No.
What?
The kid.
Kid? What you talking about?
The young kid who didn't really want to be there.
Yeah, that's St. Lucius. It's Victor St. Lucius. He's like 18.
Oh no, okay. I think I was mixing him up with the Lene guy. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm just gonna like say a prayer and then put it on.
Okay. As you don the mask, you feel a visceral arcane energy wash over you. Your vision remains largely the same. And while you can see through your mask, you're very aware that it's on your face. It loses the weight. As you place it, it seems to hover in front of you and create this artificial aura around you that is generating this disguise. As you look upon your clothes, you are in fact wearing black, gold, and very deep purple highlights. You are now in the suit of the Raven. All right, suitors, if you would please line up at the back wall here. This way.
Can I just
direct you.
check? Can I just check something? I'm gonna try to surreptitiously cast message to Grouger.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I just number one, I want to check if it works, and number two, I'm going to tell him to be careful.
All right. It does work. I'm assuming you know that Grouger is the Blue Jay.
I think I saw him pick it up.
Okay, cool. All right, the MC says, please wait, and we will begin the festivities shortly. Stay right here. All right. And soon enough, Xerxes makes his way in with Ravenna, and at the same time, the door opens, and in pile all of the courtiers, including Antivirus and Victor's courtier. They all sort of form up in the corner, staying out of the center of the ballroom. The other members of high society make their way out. Some of them greet the king and the princess as they make their way there before hugging the wall as instructed and staying in the viewing gallery. Xerxes makes his way forward. Ravenna makes her way forward. And the MC soon enough returns. Where the heck did I put him? I probably just killed him. I'm not going to put him back on the map. It doesn't matter that much. The MC returns and says, ladies and gentlemen, our penultimate dance and penultimate event this fine evening, the Masquerade Ball. The balcony remains open for anyone who would like to partake in any final snacks, desserts, wine out there, but the formal dancing will be occurring within these walls. Please, princess, if you would choose your first candidate for a dance. Okay. She walks up and immediately begins pondering and trying to figure out who she's going to start with. She rolls an insight, attempting to figure out who she's going to pick. She says, well, I mean, let's start with my namesake, I guess. Raven, let's go. You're up, Malachi.
It could have been me.
You're the first dance of the evening. Do you make your way forward?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to make you black just to avoid ambiguity because you're primarily black suit with gold and purple highlights. All right. Xerxes stays over by the table and observes. And welcome to the first real waltz of the evening. The music begins. Rather somber and dark, a full orchestra is assembled. And the dance begins. Please roll performance for me.
$24.
24. You and Ravenna operate seamlessly. Have you said any words at this point?
I've just nodded.
Okay. She's just going to message you and say, Malachi. If I'm wrong, that's going to be real awkward, isn't it? But it's you, isn't it?
I would like to talk.
Huh?
I would like for us to talk.
Well, go ahead.
It seems that you and I have both experienced very different sides of information. And while I would love to think that either one of us is entirely correct, I'm mature enough to know that perhaps there are pieces that are true for you, and I'm trusting that you would also believe that there are parts that are entirely true for me as well.
What is truth, Malachi? Truth is defined by those who wield power. And your family hasn't wielded power since the passing of your father. Therefore, you haven't interacted with truth for 15 years. The truth
And I say
is
to her,
ours.
and I'm going to say, that is exactly the lack of truth that you possess. If anything, it's curious that you pronounce the word murder the same way you pronounce the word death. My father was not guilty of what you believe him. At least not in the way that you believe.
You don't know what I believe. And I don't think you have enough information to believe anything anymore. The dance concludes with a flourish, and the crowd applauds. It has been the best dance of the evening. And you are
As
sent...
I'm about to leave, I'm holding her hand for the last move.
Yep.
As she starts to like move away, I pull her in with a spin.
Oh!
And I say, again, I think we should talk.
I'm sure my father will reach out to you. She smiles.
Alone. And then I kiss her hand and I walk off.
Okay. All right. The crowd is still applauding, and Ravenna goes up and chooses another. Actually, you're going to be filed as you head back. The MC is going to file you back, and you're going to have a conversation with Xerxes behind the table containing the rest of the masks. And he extends his hand and says, "Well done."
I know something about dancing, Your Majesty.
Clearly. You've impressed me tonight. We will discuss before you depart. Now, please enjoy the rest of the evening.
Can I take his hand for a handshake?
Yeah. What do you...
And as I shake it, I say, I look forward to our conversation.
Oh, as do I. I think we have much to discuss, my son.
Give the queen my regards. And then I walk off.
He nods. Okay, well, you can't walk off. You need to stay in this corner. You're being cordoned, essentially.
In my corner. Let me be dramatic. I'll walk off to my corner.
Okay. You can walk to the exact corner while the MC is lining you up and walking things through. All right. Some other dances have gone on. The cardinal is taken. The cardinal dance goes really poorly. And he shuffles off. Yep.
Do I have any clue if that's my boy?
Oh, that's your boy.
St. Lucius?
That's him. He struggled.
I wanted to help him out.
He doesn't. Oh, would you like to?
Yeah, I wanted to see like if he was like leaning badly or whatever, if I could like use telekinetic to like help him stay
Do
up
it,
or
do
has no
it.
balance.
Do it. Halfway through the
Yeah,
dance, he's
I will.
struggling. Do it. I'm gonna have you give him the help action. He's gonna roll with advantage. Oh, poor kid. A 4 and a 5. It's just not fair.
It's over.
He tries to take charge, but Ravenna is still wheeling him around, and you're sure that she's clocked him. And before too long, he makes his way over. And the king says something to him in a murmured whisper before he kind of sheepishly bows, kisses the king's hand, and makes his way into the corner with his head down and his hands closed. All right, Ravenna picks the egret. The egret dance also goes really poorly in a different way. It's not chaotic and forceful, it's stiff. What is happening during the whole dance is the two are talking a lot. Let me confirm what do we have here in my funny little notes. Okay. You can't, of course, hear the conversation. It's not a terrible dance, but it's really not much better than the other guys, just for different reasons. He makes his way over, shakes Xerxes' hand, bows, kisses his hand, and he gets in line. Next up, Ravenna picks Blue Jay. And it's Grodger's turn.
It's me.
Roll for performance, please.
Oh, performance?
Yep. What did she get?
11.
11? Okay, great.
Oh, +8 on that one.
11 plus 8? Wow.
No, it was a 3 + 8.
Yeah, I'm understanding that. 11 with a +8, sorry. Okay, do you say anything as you begin dancing?
I am not very good at this.
Because you're doing it wrong. Move like
Okay,
this.
how do you do
Stop.
it better?
Switch. Up tempo, go. Alright, roll again. She's giving you advantage.
Oh, she's giving me advantage. Yay! Tiny T.
22?
22.
There we go. Alright, after
Sometimes you just gotta let the woman lead.
after a rough start, you fall into a groove. And yes, this dance is great, with one exception. Grodger concedes, and Ravenna leads it. And everything falls into place. And it works. This is the opposite of the Raven dance, where the Raven was in full control, fluid but forceful, graceful. This fluidity was achieved by more of a symbiotic relationship as the two of you flow across the dance floor. Do you wish to say anything, Blue Jay?
No.
Okay, cool. By the way, your voice is masked as well. Just for reference. Okay, great.
I just thought it would be funny to be a bird.
So, as the dance concludes, Ravenna stops, holds your hands, looks you in the eye, and says, "Excuse me if this is for the wrong person, but," and then leans over and kisses you on the cheek.
Oh. I was not expecting this.
The crowd is applauding.
Can I watch Xerxes' face?
You sure can. Let me just have him roll a wisdom saving throw real quick. Oop, that's a failure. He doesn't grimace a little bit. His mouth goes into an underbite as he bites his top lip briefly, before restraining himself, sort of flicking his eyebrows up and then returning to a cool demeanor. Second best dance of the evening. All right, Blue
I'm
Jay,
just smoking.
you make your way over to the table. Xerxes extends his hand and he says, "Well done. An interesting approach, Mr. Blue Jay."
Thanks.
I would say Lord Blue Jay, but we both know that that's not where you are right now. But you are an interesting fellow. And for better or worse, you have influence. use it wisely. All right.
Okay.
He sends you off. All right, the 3 remaining dances of the evening pass rather quickly. The Sparrow makes his way up and gives a reasonably good performance. Actually, we're gonna clock that at an 18. This is Duke Longshire. It's a little janky as he wrestles for control, but he manages to take the lead and is now only the second dancer that has successfully managed to do that. It is now Duke Longshire as Sparrow and Abel Barakat as Raven, who have successfully managed to lead Ravenna in a dance to reasonable applause. The Sparrow makes his way over. Xerxes kind of chuckles and he shakes his hand and he pats him in the back and sends him in line. The Eagle is next. This dance goes okay. This is another stiff dance, very much led by Eagle, but struggling to maintain the same fluidity that somehow Sparrow managed to achieve. The night wraps up. Eagle goes to extend to shake Xerxes' hand. Xerxes grabs his arm and does like the bro shake and then pulls him in very close while tapping him on the back, seemingly reassuring him or speaking to him privately about something. Before the Eagle nods, does a military salute to Xerxes, and then falls in line. And the last dance of the evening, the Peacock goes rather poorly, if only because the 2 candidates are wholeheartedly disinterested. The movements are fluid, but lazy, sloppy. The Peacock has little interest in taking control of the dance floor, and before too long, things wrap up to a kind but not incredibly loud applause. The Peacock comes up, a few formalities, very few words, and is sent in line. The music dies down. There is applause for all of the dancers, and the masquerade ball has wrapped up. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC returns. Thank you for joining us on the masquerade ball. We must say, in terms of rating our dances, we have 3 standout performances this evening. First, if the bearer of the Mask of the Raven would please step forward.
I step forward.
Okay, cool. You're gestured to the middle of the room by the MC and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, to withhold suspense, the king's finest dance of the evening." And everybody applauds.
I bow, and then I bow to Ravenna, and then I turn and I face Xerxes. I like lock eyes with him for a bit.
Yep.
And then I do like an exaggerated bow.
Incredible. Great.
Not like rude or anything.
Yeah. But more pronounced. Yeah. Understood. All right, you stay there and says, and of course, not to forget our other 2 quite stellar performances, please, with the Mask of the Blue Jay, step forward.
Well, step forward.
All right, you make your way to the center of the room by the Raven. Says, our second most notable dance, rather close, an excellent performance. Would you all please applaud our guest? Yes, and then they all applaud. All right.
I'm standing there stiff as a board.
And
I don't know what to do.
Finally, they say, and would the Mask of the Sparrow please step up? And to applause, and I say, a very honorable mention, though not quite at the level of fluidity, rather impressive, if I must say. Thank you, please, all give it up.
Interesting, all the masks I was going to choose.
Everybody applauds. And then the MC says, gentlemen, if you would please remove your masks.
I remove my mask.
Grouger removes his mask.
And that's right, Ronald McDonald's there.
Duke Longshire removes his mask.
I remove mine, but I think I'm trying to immediately make sure that my disguise self is still up.
Oh yeah, it'll be up because you're wearing the ring. So.
Okay. That's true.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Easy peasy. All right. The applause erupts as the 3 final candidates of the masquerade ball are revealed. Their dance is concluded. It has been about, I sped through this, but this dance was an hour. This was involved, or at the very least, the lead up to the dance took some time at 9 p.m. The dancing actually begun at 9:15. Everybody waltzed for about 5 minutes, and we had 7 candidates. So that's 35 actual minutes of dancing. So it's about 9:50. We only have 10 minutes for our final event, which we relatively quickly transition into. The MC gets up and says, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will very quickly begin setting up our final event, our final dance of the evening. The Princess's Choice. Lady Ravenna, Princess, so noble, if you would please, of the 3 candidates we have here, please choose one in which you will partake in your final dance." You want to kill? You not, and then he holds his hands up and says, "You need not make a decision immediately. If you must, you may go to another room and deliberate for 5 minutes, and please return with your decision. We will all be eagerly awaiting here for our final dance of the evening." All right, then she nods and walks out of the room. And the crowds pretty much stay here. The MC goes up and talks to all of you, and he says, "Well done, gentlemen, well done. Excellent performances, excellent performances." The MC shakes your hand first. He says, "Outstanding moves, outstanding. Most excellent." He goes to Grouder. He goes, "Excellent work. Interesting decisions on the floor. Very interesting decisions. Most fun to see." Then he just goes, "Very good, very good. Very, very close third. And excellent performances. All very tight, gentlemen. All very tight. Most impressed. Now, if you would all please hold here while we await the princess's decision. You may, of course, talk amongst yourselves, but I ask you not to stray further from the center of this room. Understood?"
I'm gonna figure out how I'm getting out of here.
Mm-hmm.
This may or may not be my final day on this plane.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Multiple threats of my life have been laid tonight already.
All right, well, I will leave you all to it, yes. Okay. A few minutes pass. There are
Anybody got like a
murmurs.
hook and a rope?
Duke Longshire goes, "Yes, on my ship. Though I don't think it'll be useful for your purpose. Not without some
You should go get
jerry-rigging
that and then like bring it back.
Oh, my ship is very far away from here. I did not take it up the river. It is docked in Königsberg."
Yeah, like an hour?
Wish. If I could just teleport like the wizard used to, things would be so much easier. So much of my time is wasted on traffic and travel and idiots in their carts who don't know how to drive, who clog the left lane. It's horrendous.
Real.
What wizard?
Or, they're just wizards that used to be around and such.
Oh, and 4 gallops in a 5 gallop lane.
Things just used to be, more magical. They're still rather magical in the islands, I suppose, but not conveniently magical. More like trinkety type magic, shows and dancing lights and parlor tricks, nearly.
I agree.
Well, anyways, if I find a way to avoid a commute in the future, I will. But here I am.
Yeah, I only have one of those potions, so I have to figure out what I'm doing next.
Yes, you're gonna have to hook me up with your supplier. I would love to get some of those.
He might be dead.
Well, that's the risk of the business.
And he was in the Underdark, you know how I be.
Yes. Well, gentlemen, I wanted to say, regardless of what happens, it's been a most interesting evening, not the least due to your appearance, Grotter. Most entertaining. Thank you very much for the show. Made this slightly more worth the trip up. When he goes to shake your hand.
All right.
He goes,
Shake his hand.
And Abel, another man of, a man of more class than myself. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Shake his hand.
Okay.
And I say the pleasure is mine.
Oh, please, you are too kind. All right, well, let's hope it's not me. I want to go home.
I'm going to say just casually, I don't think you or I need to necessarily worry about that.
Well, Yes, and he holds his finger up to you and goes, I see what you see. The issue is, she is very unpredictable.
Blankly staring.
And he puts a hand on Crowder's shoulder and goes, I'm sure you know this, but she is very interested in you. But
Huh?
a woman of her type may choose either one of us just to spite you, to goad you. I've seen it before. You may be shocked, but the behavior is more common than I would like to admit. Which means it could be either you or me, Abel, if she takes that approach.
Daddy!
Okay. The council will not consider that. The council will, in fact, throw an imaginary snowball at your face. Okay.
Wait, no, I did have to ask though. Is
Yes.
Ravenna kind of like, is she kind of bad?
Yeah, we've been over this.
We've been over this.
This was literally asked like
Listen,
last session.
I'm sorry. I think my hatred for her like completely blanks anything favorable.
Morphs her
about
into
her.
some
No.
horrible face.
No. She's like drop dead gorgeous. She has
Ugh.
extremely long hair and a tight Dutch braid. If her hair was out, it would be crazy, but it's almost never out. It's always back. She always wears a lot of jewelry, which unfortunately distracts from her face. She does too much. That's the problem. If she just simplified things, she would look less like a caricature, but she's always wearing a ton of jewelry and
It's
has her
funny
hair.
because
doing a lot.
it's funny because her stepmother is always classy and timeless, but
That's
what
true.
would she know?
That's true. So true. Yeah.
Gumby. I mean, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That was Malachi snuck out right there.
Yep. All right, so Ravenna enters the room, and the MC says, he sort of announces, he dings on one of his little things, not to make a toast, but, ringing his bell to get everybody's attention, and says, the princess has returned and will make her choice for the final dance. Princess, if you would. And she seems to turn on a switch, adjust her poise, her posture to make sure it's straight. She gathers her hands together and begins speaking. And she says, in light of tonight's wonderful dances and company, this was a very difficult decision. The peanut gallery in the back here is very confused by the statement. But she continues and says, it is a decision that I make with great difficulty, as you are all such wonderful candidates, even those who were not selected for our final dance. My heart goes out to all of you, and what you've put into this evening, all for me. I am honored. But the suitor I choose for a final dance is Duke Longshire. And he goes, what?
Hey, good job, man.
All right, everybody claps, and he looks around confused. And he just goes, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. The floor clears. The MC says, gentlemen, if you would please make your way up. Thank you. And he just shovels you north with the rest of the suitors who are now shuffled through. At this point, they are directed to join in with the rest of the crowd, as effectively their role in the evening is over. And so they make their way over, and some of them begin talking with some of the elder members who they haven't had to get discussions with
As
yet.
as I'm walking back with Garager,
Yep.
I'm going to be shaking his hand and saying, you did a very good job tonight. It was an interesting choice that you made. And then I'm going to cast message.
Yep.
And I'll say, if we have to get out of here, I think, head for the balcony. I'm hoping I can teleport us out from there.
Yeah, I mean, you win some, you lose some, and he obviously she saw something in him, and I'm right. I have acknowledged eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I blinked twice.
Signal. The secret
I pat him on the back. How'd your mother
All
do
right,
it?
courtiers, you can now mingle freely. The boundaries of the evening have been broken, so everybody can kind of just be in like one big clump now. So on T-Breeze,
Oh,
it
I'm
could be
mingling
like
freely.
mingling
I'm standing
freely.
there awkwardly.
Okay.
Everyone's afraid
Mingle,
of me.
yeah,
mingle
everybody's
freely,
having
mingle.
it's a great party, you know. You're gonna get to know people, and then it's like, oh, that corner looks empty. Oh, I'll go stand there for the rest of the party.
Yep, yep. All right. Well, the two of you sort of funnel into the viewing gallery. Xerxes sits at the table as the masks are collected, and the final dance begins. Would anybody like to do anything, say anything? Conversation is acceptable up until the point of the final dance, and then it's go time. So, anybody have anything they want to do?
I'm gonna go talk to Oogly Boogly.
Oh dear God. Okay. This is Code Red type scenario. All right. Antivirus walks up to Oogly Boogly, who, dear God, do I have an updated Hero Forge of this man? Not like all of the other. Technically, that's not true. I was gonna say his Hero Forge is 100% accurate because I think that's kind of funny, but it's definitely not. Oh, by the way, in case any of the OGs forget what our hero Duke Longshire looks like, here he is, strapping. I know.
What is he from? When did we
He's from the
encounter him?
Parkulus campaign. Not the Parkulus campaign, the Armistice campaign, Foreign Bones.
Oh,
Like the
I
first
barely remember
campaign I
anything
did.
from that.
Here he is, Oogly Boogly. Yeah, in his fez, in his pauldrons, in his dark green vest. So you walk up to him and he goes, hello.
Hello. Nice hat.
Thank you. It's called a fez. They're my favorite.
Where'd you get it?
I don't remember. Somewhere in Parshiv, something. I mean, I didn't go there. I just imported it. It was extremely expensive, but very worth it.
Seems of high quality.
It is a very high quality. Feel. Here, touch. And he takes it off.
I touch.
It's so soft.
Nice.
Yes,
It's
yes.
firm.
I don't
but
remember what the material
comfortable.
they called it, but it's very comfortable. Yes.
Wow, I hand it back.
Yep. How did you enjoy the evening? Oh, I suppose I should introduce myself. You are one of the Debellum's guards, yes?
In a way, yes.
Ah, I see. Okay, strange. I am Duke Oogly Boogly of Königsberg.
Königsberg. I don't think I've ever been.
Oh, yes, you know, of course. It's just the port city just south of Lucine.
Yes.
Yes, you see, because of some of my grand exploits, we've been able to facilitate some great trade deals. Me and the king. We're actually close personal friends now.
Oh, impressive.
Yes, it took a lot of work. But a man of your standing, I'm sure you've done some things on your own. Serving the Debellums is no small feat, so I hear.
Well, it's mostly in service of my master. What's his last name?
Barakat.
Master Barkat.
Ah, yes. Married into the family, correct? His
Yes.
brother did, anyways. Yes. Oh, still, anyone who bears the regalia, conveys a sense of honor, of nobility. So you wear it well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the night?
Well, it was a most entertaining evening. It is a room full of characters, truly named and unnamed, some which I have learned, some which I have not, some which I do not care to learn. But, oh my, a most thrilling series of events, and I must say the outcome was rather unexpected.
I was not expecting the dragon.
Nor was I. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that did happen. I was referring to the choice of final dance.
Oh, well. Who are we to judge?
I have no idea. The mind of a woman is a mystery. He slogs back wine. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm going to walk somewhere else now.
Okay.
Okay, great. And he just shuffles his way down. He finds a servant and gets more white wine. All right. Any other
God, I hate him.
conversations? Do you say that out loud after he shuffles away?
Quietly.
Okay, that's great. I'm just gonna have Fabrizio roll perception. Oh yeah, he hears, and he sits with his falcon cane, and he leans over to you and he says, "He is a very pompous asshole."
I nod my head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right. Anybody else trying to have any conversations before we wrap up the evening with our final dance? Okay, great.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah. Final dance is
think I would-
underway. Yes.
I think I would still try to talk to Golemoof.
Okay. Well, she is rather accessible if you can make your way to her physically. Oh, I should probably get rid of these guys and actually put their things back because they don't need to wear their masks anymore. Lol.
In an alternate universe, Kylo is doing a Family Guy death pose on the street, miles
Oh, yeah.
away.
Oh, yeah. Miles away. All right. Are there any more birds in here that I'm not seeing? No, I think I got rid of all the birds. All right, you go up to Lady Gullamouf. She is currently flanked by her niece. I forget. Granddaughter.
Mhm.
Granddaughter. I remember.
And I say it was lovely meeting you both this evening.
The pleasure is all mine, young man. You made quite a show tonight. Remind me of another young man I saw once on the dance floor. Haven't
Yes?
seen that spark for a long time.
Yes, the de Bellums told me there was a family, the Lumieres, who would
Yes,
host
yes, we
grand
spoke
balls.
of them earlier this evening.
Yes, they would host grand balls.
That they did. And Soul had swift and rather flexible feet. He was very adept.
Flexible feet?
Yes. Well, I'm glad to be considered anywhere near one such as he.
She looks at you curiously. Uh-huh.
I'm going to cast message.
Yep.
It is an honor to be compared to my father.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. A shame we have to meet in these circumstances. But it was nice to see
Well-
Soul on the dance floor again.
I just I take her hand, and then
Mhm.
Galena's,
Yep.
and then I move away.
Okay. Cool. All right, the evening is concluded. The last dance is done. A formal applause is given. The two bow. Duke Longshire seems to engage her in a short conversation. Then she speaks before ultimately going over to her father. And the two walk over, have a short conversation, and they're sort of yonder for a time. And Xerxes walks over, who books it straight towards you. Two honor guards emerge from the curtain behind you, flanking Roger again, breathing down his neck. It's sort of cleared. And he says, "You two, fine performances tonight. If you would, I would prefer that you not head home immediately. If you have some time, and before we do the final toast of the evening, I would prefer that we find somewhere to talk."
Okay. I'm going to say, loudly, it would be our honor.
Excellent.
Trying to make sure that Golemoof
Yeah.
hears.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He says, after the final toast, which should be shortly, so as not to disrupt the formal flow of events this evening, I will ensure that you are escorted to an appropriate location that we may discuss the events this evening. You've certainly made an impact. Both of you. Until then... Okay. Well, it's not too long before the MC calls a final toast. The final set of wines are sent out. Everybody circles up around the MC as Ravenna and Xerxes flank. At this point, Longshire just falls into the crowd. The MC says, "Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a most enjoyable evening. I was honored to be your host and be in the presence of our great king Xerxes, who so honorably attended and facilitated this grand festival for us all. If we would all please applaud. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you." And everybody applauses and says, "Yes, yes, a most enjoyable evening indeed. I would like to initiate a final toast to be given by none other than the honorable king himself to close out our evening before you may all, of course, return from whence you came or back into the city, wherever you may need to go. But wherever you go, please go with the peace of the king as he sees you out." And Xerxes says, "Raise our glasses." And the toast commences. Everybody is passed around glasses. It's our final toast. Is everybody ready? Everybody got their glasses up?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know I'm only going to pretend to drink this.
Okay. Xerxes says, "It has been an enlightening evening. I am so very proud of my beautiful daughter and the woman that she's become. And I'm very grateful that all of you are here tonight, representing from the greatest, wisest, oldest, and strongest of our noble houses. We thank you for the suitors that you bring, the company, the spirits that some of you helped produce this very evening. I want you all to know that it is an honor to be your king, and I could only hope to give back in small portion what you have all given to me tonight and every other day, night, week, and year that you have served me. So, while I would like to toast Ravenna, my daughter, my beloved, my late wife, my present wife, all of you have helped make this a truly enchanting evening." And he raises his glass. He says, and then everybody go ahead and drink. And that's it. He says, "You may all leave at your pleasure. Doors will be closing at 11 p.m., so you have around 30 minutes to wrap up any business you may need to. I will be unfortunately unavailable. I have some business to attend to. If I did not get a chance to talk to you this evening, I do apologize. Perhaps we will be able to chat again. But again, my deepest thanks." And he makes his way over. You didn't drink your drink, right? Okay, that's fine. You can just put your glass on the thing. No, nobody cares. But the honor guard is coming for you, and as a path is cleared, Xerxes says, "So, gentlemen, shall we have our chat?"
I look over at Abel, hesitant to cross Xerxes' path.
And I'll say, may I have a moment to just speak to my courtier?
"Of course," he says, slightly annoyed, but acknowledging that it would be weird to say no. So yes. But he's just gonna stand right here, expectingly, waiting while you have your little chat with him.
I'll tell him, I'll say in Celestial,
Mm-hmm.
don't go too far. He wants to talk to the both of us. I'll try to let it be somewhere private but not inaccessible. Although I don't know if I can ensure that, so follow closely. Then I'll say loudly, well, not loudly, but I'll say, and if you can, send word that I might be a little bit later. I know the driver, Lady de Bellum, would be worried if I got home too late.
I nod.
Okay. Are you headed out?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you, Antivirus. All right, gentlemen. Two of the guards follow you, regular guards, and two members of the honor guard, and you are ushered through the curtain as he leads you. I'm assuming you all follow?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay. You make your way into the empty, now other ballroom, still lit up partially, and Xerxes makes his way over before a wizard that Granger recognizes sits seemingly eagerly awaiting your arrival. And he says, "It is ready, my lord." He goes, "Excellent, thank you."
Well,
Please, if you would,
putting us in the death chamber.
enter into the kitchen with me.
King Xerxes,
Yes,
if I may,
you may.
what is happening?
We're just going to discuss this evening. As I said, you both made an impression, but I would prefer to have this conversation, frank conversation, away from the prying eyes of all of the courtiers and other members of nobility.
Well,
I
time to
have
get
arranged to discuss with Duke Longshire as well, but he unfortunately has scheduling conflicts barring him from staying any longer this evening.
How
Convenient.
well timed. Your Majesty, I will say this. Prudence is something that has been taught to me, and while I do not wish to be in Your Majesty's poor graces, I do understand the balance of power here. Is it possible that we could choose somewhere a little more open?
Oh, he looks around the room and says, "I suppose. Is the room open enough for you?" It is effectively private. It's a little echoey. It's loud, but it's fully shut off, relatively isolated.
Forgive me. As you know, being from Tashiv, I've seen and heard of many attempts on our Sultan's life.
He gestures his fingers, and all of the yellow guards leave the room, quickly replacing them are members of the honor guard. Sorry, you were saying?
Only that I believe we're now ready to have a conversation. If we can stay here.
Very well. Clarence, I apologize for... No? All is well? He goes up to the door and quickly casts Dispel Magic, and then sits guarding the curtain as two more members of the honor guard flow in to lock that off. You hear some kind of sound, and it seems that hallway closes. The doors are all locked by the members of the honor guard, ensured that nobody is peeping, and says, "We now have complete privacy. So, let
I bow.
us pull up some
Thank you.
chairs." And he's going to go over to the table. The honor guard wheel over, or just take two chairs from the upper and lower tables and just smack them down on the other side of this long table and gesture for you to sit.
Dunk.
Is this acceptable?
Are there windows in this room?
Yes, there is one window out to the balcony, and the curtains are very quickly drawn by the honor guard. And the other two
Okay.
windows, which are much smaller, the curtains are also drawn. So, Where to begin? First, excellent performances tonight. You both are impressive in very different ways. Roger, I expected to be less surprised by, given the time we were able to spend together, but you, in fact, remain full of surprises. And Malachi, you are ever adapting and poised. Your mother's very proud of you. And I'm sure your father would be as well. If you would...
I lean forward and I
Yes.
say,
Okay.
fine.
If you would please drop your disguise. I would prefer to look into your eyes as they actually are.
And I pass a hand in front of my face and drop it.
Technically, you can't drop it. You'd have to take the ring off, or you have to minor illusion your actual face over the existing illusion.
God, he's
Oh,
like
is
a
that how
future
that
kid.
works? I
Yeah.
thought I could control it.
No.
Uh,
You can't turn it off unless you take the... You can turn it off by turning the whole thing off by taking the ring off, or you can impose another illusion on top of the existing illusion.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so you're still in your same clothes, but your face at the very least now looks like Malachi. All right. Xerxes looks at you.
Oh my god, you were here?
Xerxes looks at you a little confused and goes, "If you would please just disarm yourself of all magical illusions. You know that I can tell."
Yes, Your Majesty.
Oh, my bad. My suit goes away.
Yeah. He turns over to Grodger and says, "That's fine, Grodger."
Your Majesty, I know I'm in no position to bargain, but I am my father's son. Will you be divesting yourself of any of yours?
What? I don't even understand the question.
Will you be divesting yourself of any of your magical trinkets?
Oh, okay. I didn't understand what yours is in reference to. And the king says, "It is a fair question, but given that I am in the company of known conspirators and those who have shed Lucinian blood, and whose brethren have very publicly issued a desire for my beheading, I'm afraid I will not be doing that." If you would please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm muttering something to Bahamut, man, if you don't get me out of here.
So you take the ring off for real. Is that what's
I do.
happening?
And
Okay.
I'm wearing the Lumiere colors.
Okay. Got it. So blues and whites. Okay. So you're now actually with red highlights. You're now actually out of disguise, Xerxes says, "Thank you." Where to begin? Everything I have said henceforth I mean. I did not intend to perjure myself this early into the evening, nor at all for that matter. But you pose a very serious issue. You come to my doorstep, your affiliate winning the affection of my daughter, and you yourself supining for the attention and affection of members in my court. So I will simply ask bluntly, and I pray that you will answer accordingly, what do you want, Malachi?
A number of things.
Please.
One, the truth about my father,
Mm-hmm.
and if it is what I believe it to be, for that to be known publicly.
Mm.
Two, to see my mother.
Is that all? No ambitions for
No,
the
Mom.
throne, no desire for my execution, my head on a spear. Malik employs very colorful language.
He does. But he has not in quite some time, has he?
Perhaps. Not language that has reached my ears.
Well, his older brother is home now.
Not quite home yet. But yes.
Well, I don't know if we consider Lucine quite home anymore, Your Majesty.
Is that so? Where is home, Malachi?
Home is where my heart is.
How insightful. And where is that?
He's trying to get your ass.
With my wife and child.
Child. He's just gonna insight check you. Goes.
I mean, I can feel it. He's gonna know it. Like, I'm telling the truth.
He goes. You mean to tell me you bore a son or daughter? I think not. Please be precise. Your wife and...
A child does not have to be born of my blood.
pedantic as your father. All right. Yes. So where are they? In hiding?
Yes.
Are you ashamed of her? Or fearful? You've implicated her in something very serious, Malachi.
Have I?
You have.
If that is the case, I have all the more reason to keep her hidden.
I would not go after your wife. What I'm saying
Oh.
is that you risk your own life. Meaning you endanger
well.
the covenant you made with her. Your
I'm
covenant.
sorry. I'm sorry. Are you looking for a fourth wife?
No. No, I am not.
Good.
I'm merely saying, as one who has experience in the arena of marriage, what you have done is unwise
Yes, quite the experience.
and irresponsible.
Quite the experience with marriage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Including keeping a mother away from her children.
Oh, is that what I
mean,
did?
I truly believe that you are exemplary when it comes to all of this. I forgot. You are the epitome of all that I strive to be. So forgive me, Your Majesty.
Please, tell me what I did. I would love to hear it from your mouth. What did I do, Malachi?
Your Majesty, I believe I asked first. Tell me the truth of what happened to my father.
Very well, here we are. I was wondering how long I would lead you on before you finally caught me. You let me ramble for quite a bit. The answers to your two questions. Let me confirm, because actually it's been a while. What do you specifically ask about your mom? You just want to see her? Or you want... Did you say you want your mother? You want
I said,
what?
give me my mother.
Give me my mother. Okay. All right. So the answer to the second question first. I'm not exactly sure how I am to give you your mother, as she is my betrothed. And while I would be inclined to let you see her, yes.
So you are not married to her?
Oh, did I use the wrong word? Does betrothed mean engaged? Oh,
Yeah.
oops. All right. No, it definitely does. Yeah, it does. Well, given that we are united in matrimony, I cannot exactly give you your mother. And while I would be inclined to allow you to see her, you've not exactly proven trustworthy yet. But your request is noted and understood. As to the first request, the truth is relatively simple. Your father committed an act of murder, and he was hanged for it. What happened afterwards is rather complex, but those facts are quite simple and quite concrete.
And he was given a proper trial, and there were no spells on him.
Proper
You are
trial?
absolutely. Hmm.
There was not much of a trial to be had.
Precisely.
Regicide is a very serious offense, and the evidence was not at all in his favor.
The evidence.
Yeah,
Yes, you care about the evidence.
of course I care about the evidence.
Hmm. And who do I suppose found this evidence? Gingle?
Why do you bring a name like that in my halls? Gingle is a pawn of no note. Many courtiers found the evidence. A maid, one of the king's attendant, bedside attendants, many other members of the household, and there is, of course, the issue that your father himself confessed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you not satisfied?
No.
Tell me what you lack.
I know that you came out of nowhere.
Nowhere is not a location. I came from a very specific location. But perhaps outside of your 9-year-old mind's purview, yes.
No, I know you came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I know that you appeared suddenly.
In Lucine.
And I know that you may be unfamiliar with what it is to have a consistent character.
And whatever does that mean?
It means that when you have a legacy like my father did, one does not suddenly kill a very close personal friend. Not outside of duress or outside manipulation.
Outside of duress? Oh, what an interesting qualifier. What makes you assume your father wasn't under duress? Were you aware of all of his business dealings? I'm sorry, do you know exactly who his most prominent client was? Where were his meetings held? Who was he close with in the court outside of the king? Do you have access to any of this information? Because I seem to recall, again, something that perhaps hasn't fully hit you yet. You were a child. In some ways you still are, with a child's worldview. And I say this not to insult you, but to enlighten you. There are things you do not know and do not understand. All you have is your perspective. And your perspective is one of a little runaway boy, divorced of any wisdom that could be inherited to him by his mother, because she sent him away. Do you not understand how that implies your guilt? How the cascading series of actions that both you and the sorcerers of Mayhem took led you to become enemies of the state? Do you not understand that your mother and I did the best with the situation that we had in our hands? Who do you think I am? What do you know of my life? I did not come out of nowhere. I was born into wealth like you. But like your father, I had to fight to make things better. And the battles I fought were not in Lucine. They were in the archipelago, on Cassitus, on Benevict. Islands left unrepaired, uncared for, disconnected from the mainland, from the heart of Lucine, the golden gem of Mandril, the lap of luxury and privilege. Who fought for them? I did. I established relationships. I met my wife. She died, leaving me a daughter. I had to figure out what to do next, and I did not give up. I went where my machinations took me. And they took me higher, because like your father, I was smart and knew how to make things work and give people what they want. And when I found out that my second wife was of the Debellums, I made a political move, much like you did with your wife. And it was a wise move, and it wouldn't pay off for many years, but it paid off. So again,
What do you know of my wife?
what do I know of your wife? Precious little. Why don't you tell me about her?
Good, then you know enough.
Very well. So, I feel that I've answered your questions. I've given you what you want, with the exception of seeing your mother, which perhaps can be arranged. But you need to drop everything. Stop what you're doing and realize that the actions you've taken have made you a political enemy of the state from the age of 9, and actions have consequences. I can be lenient, you were a child, but you're a grown man now. And the body count has piled up, Malachi. Hoarfrost, Lene, Miserum. Just members of note, and I pray you remember their names, but I don't even know that you do. How many dozens of men in my army were massacred before I had to pull back? How many of my men trying to enforce justice were slaughtered after a noble woman in my court had her life taken and her child orphaned? And you were there. Perhaps you didn't pull the trigger, so to speak, fire the spell, but you were there. That's when things got serious, Malachi. See, before you were a lost child, associating with a band of rebel sorcerers and wizards, attempting to cobble together some form of resistance, weak, sparse, not a grand threat to me or my agenda. But then you took the blood of a nobility. What do you expect me to do? Turn the other cheek? Turn a blind eye? Say, well, 15 years ago things ended poorly for his father, so I suppose we can excuse this little oopsie-doopsies. There's rule of law, Malachi, and you are on the other side of it. Nothing else to say?
I clap.
Okay.
I clap.
God, he's insufferable.
You know, I did not suspect you of such tact, or, to be honest, I suppose I only saw you as a beast on a hill.
I am a beast,
And now that I see that you are formidable in more ways than one. But I know what I know.
Any good king is. What do you know? Please, indulge me.
I know what I know. And I say this to you. I do not speak purely out of my own ideology. There are powers far greater than you or I, for whom I also speak.
He laughs.
And I will say,
What do those powers say?
that of the many men that you have sent after us, I am particularly interested in all of those with the same face, who look exactly like your beloved son Saul.
What of it?
Well, I think that before you make certain statements, you had best make sure that your house affairs are clean yourself.
Neither of our houses are clean, Malachi.
Well,
We
I
simply
do not
inherited them.
I do not know that I can say that. If you are to convince me, I need to see original documents. I need to see, but there was no court case. There was nothing to support anything of what you're saying. And if this is some attempt to convince me otherwise, then
I don't need to convince you of anything.
exactly. And so I do not understand why we are having this conversation now.
Because you showed up and asked the questions you asked.
All I really care about now is for my mother.
Oh, so we no longer care about your murderous father. I see.
No, I just know that the truth cannot come from you.
Is that so? I've not
It
told
is
you a
very
lie.
much so. Yes, but you haven't told me the entirety of the truth.
I don't know what more you
Nor
want
do I
from
believe
me.
you capable.
I do not know what more you want from me.
Yes. I want your assurance that we can leave here tonight safely.
Wish I could guarantee you that. But that's conditional.
I look at Graja.
And if you want to see your mother, you will not be leaving here tonight.
Curious. Is she your prisoner?
Many love to spread this rumor. It's a favor
I didn't ask
today.
about rumors. I just asked, is she your prisoner?
No.
Then, why is she not free to just come here on her own? If you call her.
Because she is submitted to me, and I did not
She's
call her.
submitted to you.
That's how marriage works.
Oh, yes.
A wife submits, Malachi, or do you just let her traipse all over you? Your own. She has freedom, but she also has tact. She's an intelligent woman. And tonight I barred her from coming so that I could figure out what exactly you're doing here, what your goals are. And I also know that you've been in contact with her, which means to some extent she can't be trusted.
Oh, I thought she was submitted.
As far as I'm aware.
Curious. I asked only to talk to my mother. To see her. Here.
In this room.
Even if only for 5 minutes.
5 minutes can be arranged easily.
Yes.
But
Yet,
you will not be walking out of here freely if you partake in those 5 minutes.
really?
Yes, really.
Then I ask that you let us leave now.
What will you do?
I do not have to answer that.
You do.
Well, I do not know quite yet what I will do. I have a number of things stirring in my mind.
Well, I advise you figure it out. He
And I advise you,
stands up.
humbly, let us go.
He gestures to the door. The door is open, and the honor guard release you. I've shown you great grace today, Malachi. Do not abuse it. Although, there is, and then he closes the door, one more thing. Not to hold you.
course.
I just wanted to inform you that it seems you lost another family member tonight.
What do you mean?
Oh, you don't know. Is that really true? He walks up from his desk. You cannot make a charisma saving throw?
I'm not lying.
Okay, that's fine. You still need to make a charisma saving throw. It doesn't matter.
That's fine. Oh, 13.
Okay, cool. So the effect that you are aware of is that you cannot deliberately tell a lie. Yes. So he walks closer and says, "So you know nothing about this familial death?"
What are you talking about?
Your cousin Martin? Nothing. Killed in the streets by a satyr. So it's reported. Curious.
I wasn't on the street.
Well,
Oh, no, wait. He was. The other guy was. Never mind. You're right.
that might make more sense, but I was unaware that he was dead.
You send an assassin and expect him to come out the other side?
I didn't send an assassin.
Oh, you didn't.
No, Xerxes, I'm not you.
So you have nothing to do with this whatsoever?
My connections with other people.
Yes or no? Do you have anything to do with this whatsoever?
If someone I'm associated with.
Yes or no? Your silence is so revealing.
No, I only mean to think. Because when faced with a question that does not have a direct answer,
Well,
and I cannot
unfortunately,
tell
that
you
means the direct answer isn't no. In good conscience, you cannot lie saying no, which means you do not wish to say yes because of the implication, which means you are implicated somehow.
It is also not yes because of the complexity of our relationship.
So complex. It's simple. I ask a question, and you answer it. Are you involved? Yes or no?
I'm involved with the person
Oh.
who has committed this act.
And now we have conspiracy to commit murder.
And now, as I recall, it is quite possible that this is a person with whom you also are in connection.
I know what I'm going to do with you.
Hmm.
And he smiles. You're going to get what your father never had. A fair trial.
Your Majesty, I appreciate it. And I think I need a moment to think.
You certainly do. But, before, please give me your decision. Will you stay and see your mother, or go with your tail between your legs?
I move closer to Georgia and I say,
Mhm.
I have asked that we be allowed to leave safely. Will you honor that?
Yes. Just means you won't be seeing her.
It means I won't be seeing her tonight.
Correct.
And I put my hand on Graja's shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and I say, Is there anything you wish to do before we leave?
No, I'm good. I think I've done everything.
Then let us be on our way.
Okay.
Until next we meet, Lord de Lumiere. All right, y'all
I don't know.
leaving? Are you
Mhm.
leaving as you, or are you gonna put the ring back on before you leave?
I put the ring back on, yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I thought he was going to arrest him.
All right. Well, you make your way out past the now empty lobby. Everyone has cleared out. It is past 11. The building is shut down. The halls are clear. The normal guards are gone, and it's nothing but honor guards. Making your way to the front door, outside, waiting patiently, ever so patiently by the carriage, is Norton Antivirus.
I wave.
Now the question is, Grouder leaving in the carriage?
No. I'm immediately starting to cast sending, and I'm going to send to God, who's left? Is there anyone at their house?
Probably Sable
Rebellion?
and Rainy at a
I'm
minimum.
going to send to Sable and Rainy and tell them grab our things and meet us somewhere else. We need to leave.
Got it.
I'm not going back to the Bellums.
Rainey was going to get Cagliari. I don't know how long ago that would have happened, but they would have linked up, and then if they're back at the
I'm not
mansion by now.
trying to get the Bellums killed.
So you said grab our
Yeah.
things and meet us somewhere else. We need to leave immediately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm just dropping this in the respective player chats for those characters. Okay. All right, well, you get in the carriage. Is Grouder getting in the carriage or no?
I shall.
Okay. You get into the carriage, and the carriage takes off. You'll need to instruct the driver where to go. But there we have it. Now, I guess I'll open the question up. First, sorry to Jacob for the D&D podcast. I'm really tired. Are we good to stop here? Because this is a good stopping point. Or do y'all
Oh, I
have
see.
business?
You hate me.
Do you guys have business you want to wrap up?
I've had to go to the bathroom for so long.
Well, you can go to the bathroom. That's just a given. I'll ask this. Jacob, is there anything either of your characters would like to do? Because you would have had time to make it back to the house at this point.
Well,
You're
I guess I'll
1
just say,
HP.
would I have had any trouble having Rainey with this guy's self up, go get Cagliari, and return to the DeBellum Manor?
Depends on what you mean by go get her. If she's in Wilkinsboro, I mean, probably not. It's just a little close to the scene of the murder.
It just would have been like they would have met up somewhere.
Yeah,
and
that's no difficulty. You're both disguised, so you have literally an hour, so that's pretty easy.
cool.
So where that leaves us is the carriage is heading to an unknown location as of yet, with Abel and Grodger in it. Back at the mansion, just receiving that message, grab our things and meet us somewhere else. We need to leave immediately. Goes to Sable, who relays that information to Rainey and Cagliari upon their return. Anything people want to do? Okay. I think I'm going to leave this here because it's a good stopping point. And we have gone for 2 hours, 38 minutes, which is about 20 minutes shorter than the, general goal that I have. But we actually started like mostly on time. So it's kind of wild. But we will leave it there and we'll pick it up. I think next week is okay. I need to confirm at some point there's going to be shenanigans that might require me to drop a week. Easter might be a lot. No! So we shall see. But I will keep you in the loop. All right. That is all. Bye-bye.